alongside Mr. Brandon K and Mr. JD Walker. And this is not the Sportsman and not on Zingo TV. So we're going to call this show a bunch of guys bitching about sports. This is, in this case, not on Zingo TV. So it's not minority owned by Fox or Disney. So fuck, shit, balls, fuck, ball, shit, fuck. It is completely acceptable. In this case, we're going to roll with however we feel in this case and not get fined. And that's going to be a little more fun in general. Gentlemen, how you doing?
I'm doing
Could be better. Could be better.
I apologize for the sound of my voice. Also, as you can tell, it's a little raspy right now. But we'll make through. We'll make it do. I'm going to be talking some stuff right now. We're going to be talking some Astros tonight. We're going to be talking some Jets. Try and give Brandon a little bit of life distraction here, if best we can do. Basically, talk his Rangers, talk the Devils, who are in first place right now. How about that? How's that for some shit after 10 games right now? We will be talking about the team that unceremoniously dumped my soccer team. I'm not going to mention the name of that team. We will not be discussing that team one iota or what the name of it is. I don't know why JD is pulling up that shirt that maybe tied to this.
Payback's a bitch. That's all.
But we're not going to be talking a team that actually has a word that's similar to the word onion. But anyway, yeah. So anyway, that's all the time we got. Thanks as always for tuning. But yeah, let's first and foremost let's get this thing rolling. We're going to be talking a little World Series right now because guess what? The Astros, they threw a no-hitter. The question is, did they cheat?
Maybe. Who knows? The funny thing is, though, once any kind of narrative comes out about it again, then everything is so under the microscope again. Is this pitch cheating? Is this rub of the hands, some type of sticky stuff? So you're really we've really shifted to the over, being suspicious about it. Maybe not, but I mean, again, the Phillies were still hitting the ball. They just happened to get them all out. And we could say what you want. There's a reason why perfect games and no hitters are so rare in the regular season, let alone postseason / World Series. And look, I mean, I root for a team in this sport that has had a combined no hitter and a really
actual no hitter.
No-ish no hitter.
Yeah.
No-ish hitter.
And look, like it is a cool accomplishment, and doing it at this era or at this stage in the season is obviously really great and impressive. And they were down in the series, they had to tie it up, and we're now back to we're not back, but we're now back to kind of a best of 3 series with this situation here, and I had the Phillies in 7, so I'm right on the way to that, hopefully. And we've had this win-loss pattern with this series. So, with the last game of any kind of baseball in Philly, regardless what happens the rest of this week, I think the Phillies are going to kind of go out with a bang and go up 3-2 and then go on a very hostile road to Houston in game 6 and 7, which they say what you want. They will be raucous and crazy down there. And game 6 and 7 on the World Series. I mean, it doesn't get much, much more nerve-wracking and under pressure than that. So we'll see how it goes. I have the Phillies tonight. I'll just, like I said, roll with the win-loss thing. And I think it's going to be another exciting series. I expect them to get a hit. I will say that. They had, 5 home runs in game 3. They rounded so many bases and hit the ball so many, they didn't have anything left for game 4. So I think they'll bounce back a little bit, get more of an even game. It's funny. It's kind of, even though like in the NFL, we're like, with defense and stuff like that, hold the team to the point, to a very low amount of points. In the World Series and even the playoffs, it feels like every team is scoring early. And by the 3rd or 4th inning, it's already got like a 5-3, 6-4 type of game. And I mean, the pitching it's good. It's just like, I mean, they're hitting the ball. I mean, they're not really waiting on too many counts. You've got to be aggressive in this situation. And I think we'll have an entertaining game tonight, and Phillies take Game 5.
All right, JD, how about you?
First off, it's baseball, so I assume everybody's cheating. Number two,
Guilty of
number
the
two,
innocent.
this is cool. It's a great accomplishment. A combined no-hitter is not a real no-hitter. Sorry, not sorry.
Now, see, I disagree with that. I still count it.
It's cool. It's cool. It's cool. It's nice. It's an accomplishment. It is not the same thing, and equating it's a false equivalency in my book. Even if it had been two pitchers, like okay, yes, Javier's pitch count was up there, but it was still only 97. But that's my get off my lawn attitude when it comes to baseball.
Hike up the pants above the ribcage.
Right. But just and another former Met that is having success in the World Series, Rafael Montero. He was the more hyped pitching prospect coming up in May 2014. And the one who started the day after him was an afterthought last-minute fill-in. Mm-hmm. Jacob deGrom. Pepperidge Farm remembers when Rafael Montero was the can't miss Mets pitching prospect. But anyway, good for him. Good for the Astros. It's not. Was
that also the same era when Ike Davis was going to be the first baseman of the future?
And it was a few years after that, but yes. Strike Davis, as I call him.
Dude, he went from single A to into major league.
That was like when Lucas Duda was maybe okay at first base.
It was. I think Ike Davis was already gone by then, and they had gone to Lucas Duda by that point.
Ike took a hike and left.
Yeah, and but this was. I mean, props to our editor Kyle, where he called it in our group chat during Game 3. He said, "I guess hope the Phillies aren't using up all their big hits tonight. They used up all their hits. Period."
Literally,
I expect to bounce back tonight, although I am concerned with the bullpen. It is essentially a bullpen game. Old friend Noah Syndergaard is officially the starter, but he's a shell of himself. You might get 3 innings out of him. Like it's a bullpen game. It is what this is tonight. But to the Phillies' benefit, you have Verlander on the other side, who's been absolute garbage in the World Series. Hall of Fame,
has like the worst
ERA.
Historically bad.
He's got like the worst ERA of qualifying pitchers in the World Series.
Yeah, and he was tagged for 5 runs in Game 1. So, so it's mind-boggling to me. But there's some pitchers like that where they're fantastic everywhere else, but when it comes to the playoffs or the World Series, there's just something. Kershaw had the same issue for a long time, not to the extent that Verlander did, but he had a not so great playoff record. So Verlander pitching,
pressure on it,
yeah. So you have Verlander pitching, which should help the Phillies. That's a plus in their book. You have the last game at Citizens Bank Park. Phillies going absolutely crazy. I can hear it's the kind of sporting event where I can open my window and hear people cheering after every home run. No cheers last night.
Apparently, when Bryce Harper hit that home run, it actually registered on the Richter scale. It actually triggered the seismic chart.
Yeah.
Both that one and whatever the home run was after that. Was it Bohm? Both of them actually registered.
I believe it.
But that's Philly Nation being Philly Nation. Now I don't agree with you.
The women fighting at Xfinity Live.
Well,
that also is Philly being Philly.
Oh yeah.
Let me ask this: could I make an argument that a combined no-hitter, pending the situation, not just combined no-hitter versus regular no-hitter, could be more difficult? Because you have the first pitcher, okay, they had their no-hitter, they came out. You have the second pitcher, maybe they don't care about it, so they pitch whatever, and they happen to continue no-hit. And then you get to that third and fourth pitcher, and everyone's starting to talk about it. then that built pressure. If you have the same pitcher, it's you kind of have that control over kind of how you think about it. You're not worried about another guy, screwing it up for you. Could you make the argument that it could be harder?
I feel it's difficult for different reasons. I feel it's the same amount of difficulty, but different. Because in this case here, last night you had to have all 5 pitchers on their game. Yes, it was not 100 pitches, not 150 pitches, but every single pitcher had to bring their A game on every single one. So you have different mentalities, different life events, different challenges going on.
Especially being down in the series.
Also true.
With facing elimination on the road again in a game 5 had you lost.
Yes. I think in this case, because, if Javier had stayed in and reached 130, 40 pitches, he burns out, and that's a difficulty in its own right. So each one, like I said, presents its own version of difficulty, different from the other, but I think equal in its difficulty. I personally feel it still counts as a no-hitter. It is a statistical no-hitter, 0-0.
Yes, it's just not the same.
Is it as badass as a complete game no-hitter? No, it's not. I don't give it that. You talked about Roy Halladay last night. Roy Halladay, that is a complete game no-hitter. That has more in the badass points. But it is no asterisk, in my book, no-hitter. It is a no-hitter. It's just multiple guys had to do it. Like when the Mets had one earlier this season. I made the argument in the past that the Johan Santana, no-hitter should not have been one because it was a blown umpire call. That's
on a you could say that about hundreds of no-hitters over the past 50
but the Mets no-hitter earlier this year 100% counts. So you can't say in any facet, any form, that they have not thrown a no-hitter at this point.
Right. They've gotten it. They've gotten it both ways, and we had a similar discussion when the Mets did it earlier this year. I do think both are good. Both are good, and it's also kind of cool how this game had ties to both previous playoff no-hitters.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was also in Citizens Bank Park. Just like the Roy Halladay one, the late great Roy Halladay in 2010 division series. And it was in the World Series, just like the Don Larson perfect game.
Yeah. Obviously Larson was a perfect game no-hitter, and which is better on every facet of it. But here's the thing. I give the Astros credit. They were excited for it, but they were not losing their mind. It was like, okay, this is a cool moment. We'll enjoy it for 15 minutes. It's back to work after that. All it was at the end of the day was a well-pitched game with a win and a tie in the series. No hitters, normally if it was the regular season, it would have been a lot more, exuberant. But, for them, it was all business. Enjoy it. Congratulations. We did a good job on both sides of the ball. Back to work for tomorrow.
Yeah. And it can be all those things. And I think that the Phillies will bounce back tonight. With how the Phillies have been on this run, I don't think they've lost 2 consecutive games the entire postseason. Last night was their first time that they even lost at home so far.
That's true.
But I do think they do bounce back and then throw out their best shot in Houston. Selfishly, I wanted the Phillies to wrap it up in 5. That way the MLS Cup would not be overshadowed on Saturday. But it's still a fantastic atmosphere. It's interesting with the celebrity sightings. Some of which are legit celebrities. Some are Philly celebrities, like the guy from It's Always Sunny. As they were showing around the game the other day.
Charlie Day or Rob McElhenney?
Yeah, I think it was Rob McElhenney. When they did the hey, let's see what celebrities are here. Surprisingly, not Kevin Hart. But they did.
He showed up on a kids cam the other day for basketball.
Miles Teller has been kind of driving the Philly celebrity fandom as of now.
This guy's son, Tim McGraw, was another one of the celebrities the other night. As I talked about Tug last week. But after his career, he's the least famous one because his son is a legendary country singer.
Oh yeah, which is really weird when you think about that one. But
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, personally,
and of course, Kate Upton, who was married to Justin Verlander,
was awkward. I mean, in my case, personally, I think the Astros do win tonight. I'm gonna go out on a limb on that one. I had predicted Astros in 5. That's clearly not going to happen, but I have money riding on this and family pride because I was the only one in this household who predicted that the Astros were going to win. And using Philadelphia as a reference, trading places, a $1 bet with both my wife and my mother-in-law. And if the Phillies win, I have to hear that shit for a long time. Not to mention I have to pay $2 out. But I don't want to have to hear it from my mother-in-law for like the next year that she was right and I wasn't. I have become an Astros fan just so I can basically keep my pride going on in this household.
Good luck with that,
dude.
Win or lose.
JD, you had Astros in what? 6?
I had Astros in 6 in mine.
Okay.
And
so we're still alive. Yeah. But I'm the only one
still alive.
Yeah.
Although now I'm thinking more Astros in 7, but I think it's going 7, and anything happens in game 7.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna keep going win-loss, like you said, Brendan, and then it'll come down to 7, and anything happens in game 7.
Yeah. Back to your point though, when you said like everybody's cheating. What's the line in the first Incredibles movie where he's if everyone's super, nobody is. So if everyone's cheating, nobody's cheating.
That's my thought of the entire.
It's a dog-eat-dog world.
That's what about the steroids era in baseball. If everybody's cheating, they're just the best ones.
There you go.
So it's all about cheating and not getting caught. Listen, here's the thing: it's never illegal if you don't get punished. So,
yep.
All right. So, do you want to talk about that fancy, fantastic shirt you have?
Oh yeah. So it is still sinking in that I am covering a championship level team, and that I was there there for the biggest game in Philadelphia Union history, and went in the locker room for the champagne celebration.
Did you get champagne, Don?
Not directly. I got a little bit of side spray when a player's kid ran by, going after another player, spraying a soda can on him, and just had a little bit on my arm and my phone. But the smell of victory is actually a thing. The first thing I noticed walking in the doors of the locker room is the smell of stale champagne and beer sprayed everywhere. It's an awesome atmosphere. It's fantastic. You can see the video we uploaded on the short that we uploaded of the players celebrating, and it's amazing. Really, I was just kind of soaking it in, like I'm actually here for this. This is fantastic for the team, but just being in the room was incredible. Like I was just kind of standing there looking around for a few minutes, like how did I get here? Wow,
it's a surreal moment. I totally don't
that was me at the Mike Piazza event. Just there's Mike. Wow. Yeah. And coming around with these fancy outdoors, you kind of take it in, especially if you're like a first major event, like for a first championship celebration, man, or a conference champion. That's something. It really is like a kind of core shattering experience, like a feeling. It really gets to you.
Yeah, and the whole game was like that. Where when they came back, NYC went up 1-0 on the Maxi Morales. Excuse me, on the Maxi Morales goal.
They actually scored in the game that you went to. Oh, you're lucky.
They scored in a lot of games he went to this year. A lot of goals and a lot of games.
I'm actually undefeated in the
unlike me.
Games that I covered.
I got 2 damn goose eggs.
I know you did. I'm sorry.
Right, but they went to NYC went up 1-0, and then the Union scored 3 goals in 12 minutes to come back. And at the second and third goal, the the whole place was shaking. I'm in the press box and I have my water bottle on the table in front of me, and it's shaking like the T-Rex scene from Jurassic Park, because the floor is shaking from the stadium going nuts underneath us. It's absolutely incredible, and just there. It is a rarity in the current MLS playoff format for the two best teams to play in an MLS Cup final. It's a Supporters Shield winner has only even made the final, I think, like once or twice within the past 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and for the two best
in any playoff.
Right, but especially in soccer, the Supporters Shield was almost like a curse, you know, kind of like the President's Trophy in hockey, where, oh, you had the best regular season record, then it's a guarantee you're not winning the championship. But, you know, so the Union finished second, LAFC finished first on a tiebreaker, and even soccer fans are complaining about the tiebreaker, which the tiebreaker is just simply, you know, do you have more wins? But by goal differential, which is how tiebreakers are, how standings tiebreakers are used in most other leagues around the world, the Union were first. So there's still a good amount of fans that are salty about that one. You know,
well, they're going to be salty about anything. But
right, I mean, it is still Philly fans, but it's not the same as Eagles and Phillies. It's a way happier environments, but when they get mad, they get mad. But it's a much happier party atmosphere, way less violence. You're less likely to see Union fans beating the crap out of each other than you did in that video of the of Phillies fans, all women, going in the brawl at Xfinity Live last night.
You know,
it's a much happier party, not a let's get drunk and break stuff party. You know, like Eagles games are.
Go ahead, Brandon.
You know, show us the back of your shirt.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I like the.
Let me see this.
Like the logo that they have on the back here.
Ooh.
See, can you actually
hang on a minute? Don't move.
Hold up.
Yeah,
we're switching.
Probably gonna.
There it is. That's nice.
That is really nice.
That is really cool. So,
yeah. They got some cool merch. Look at the clips of Jim Curtin's press conferences. He got some good swag.
Well, this, like I said, this has been salty for an entire year since what happened last year. Now, and I was there for that one. You know, you had the advantage of seeing this, you know, live. You know, in my case, I was the traveling road team for most of it. And as a result, it was a different environment. And also, Subaru Park has so much more energy than wherever NYC ends up being. You know, whatever celestial plane, whatever multiverse that, you know, they basically put the team this week. You know, you got to see this on the home turf in Chester. This is sort of the black sheep team of the bunch in Philadelphia. But it is still one of those things that it's deservedly so, the amount of credit they are getting, the press that they're getting. Now, curious thing, I don't know if you heard about this, but there's a problem right now with LAFC because what is it, Bank of America, whatever the stadium over there. There is no parking for the game on Saturday.
Yeah, because I think there's a USC game at the same time. I think
there's a USC football game, so as a result, there is no parking available for the MLS final. And I thought, damn, dude.
Yeah, like I had seen no tailgating. I didn't hear until this afternoon that there's no parking, period. Which
that sucks.
I don't know how that. I guess they're just going to run shuttle buses from an off. I
heard something about running shuttle buses from Dodger Stadium.
Yeah, I've never been to California, so I'm not familiar with the geography of like where stuff is.
I don't know, but that's going to take a little luster out of LAFC.
It sounds like a nightmare.
It definitely does. Luckily, they are doing a watch party at Subaru Park.
They are okay.
Yeah, because
they were
with parking, free parking.
Yeah.
There you go. There you go.
I mean, parking at Union games is enough of a. That's a different kind of nightmare.
It all goes into one lane and out.
Right, and they're building a big practice complex. That is going to take up a few more parking lots. So I'm interested to see how they're going to reconfigure that parking arrangement. But at least there's some parking on site. I'm really happy that the team is doing something at Subaru Park. It was originally going to be just a few bars showing it, like Xfinity Live, which Xfinity Live for those that aren't familiar is it's a giant bar in the footprint of the old Spectrum in the South Philly Sports Complex next to all the other stadiums. So it's next to Citizens Bank Park, Wells Fargo Center, and the Link. So for any kind of event, especially with Game 6 being that night, it'll be full mayhem in there. I want to know part of that.
That is going to be one wild city because in this case, they're spaced out perfectly. So 3 to 5, 6 o'clock, maybe give or take, and then immediately bam into World Series.
Yeah. I'll be interested to see if both teams win, if they do 2 separate parades, or if they try to piggyback off of each other. At which point it just drowns out the union.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say what they could always do is they can hold, a ceremony at City Hall and have 1,000 fans show up. And a mayor that both left and right booed the shit out of that day.
Yeah, and because one suggestion I saw was because when Villanova won their championships, they had kind of a shorter parade in the city, not the full Broad Street parade route, but they did something smaller. I think that would be good. Or if they're going to do it in New Jersey Devil style and just have a giant party in the parking lot next to the stadium, we'll see what happens.
I think they'll go bigger. But
I think it depends what the Phillies do, and you have the election right in the middle of this. Pennsylvania is an important state in the election, so that's going to it's going to be interesting.
5 more days, and there's no more political commercials.
I live in Pennsylvania. I've been seeing nonstop ads.
There are not many things on this planet that I dislike more than election commercials. First off, they've gotten to the point where they are so lazy and or not even about themselves. They just trash everybody else. It used to be like, oh, I stand for this and I promise to do this. And now it's like, that Bob's a douchebag. Don't vote for him.
He eats babies. Do you want to vote for a baby eater?
Yeah. And that Melissa, don't vote for her. She feeds children to sharks and really? I'm dogging. I approve this message. Like really? That's what it's gone to.
When I was in Maine, I thought basically these commercials were based on states and everything like that. No. It was the exact same commercial. So the ones on the left were about abortion and all this other stuff. Ones on the right were about, crime. The same stuff that they have here in New York, Jersey, and probably Pennsylvania. It is literally the exact same, commercial, no matter where you go in the country. It's just, pull out this name, insert this name instead. It is this same format everywhere you go. It is the weirdest freaking thing. I'm sitting there in a bar up in Maine, and they have the exact same format for commercial, about, won't allow abortion in any circumstance and things like that. It's like, dude, it's like I'm watching a commercial here in Jersey, or it was bizarre, man. And
they're so stupid. They're just dumb. They don't make any sense.
I think with Sinclair Media, where somebody found the things where, for all the different local news stations, where it was literally copied and pasted the exact same script. Like, oh, this channel in Indianapolis is showing this. This one in Colorado is showing this, and they were all the exact same commercial, same kind of deal.
And next year we're going to start the presidential one. They're going to be starting that a year early.
They're so dumb. They'll be standing in a field and the guy will be like, I promise to to bring down taxes in my area. And then he'll grab a Steve spiked bat from Stranger Things and start smashing watermelons. What do you do? What is that? They're just so nonsensical. It's you really expect me to vote for one of these assholes that you really they're so annoying.
There's also the gun ones, the ones where oh, I'm gonna go to Washington and take down this thing, and they'll have like a book of like the U.S. tax code or whatever thing that they're talking about how much they hate, and then they'll take out a gun and shoot it. That
And the funny thing
so
is, this
dumb.
is something people outside the U.S. are shocked at how many political commercials we have. They said there's 3 things that we didn't realize that U.S. commercials are:
That's all they are.
lawyers, political commercials, and drug ads. That's like all you guys have here in the States.
that's every football game is trucks, beer, drugs.
But yeah, I was going to say the most American thing of all time is when you wake up in the morning and you have a drug commercial jingle in your head.
Yep.
Yeah.
There's a really catchy earworm election, but this is a happy by election commercial standards of it's almost time to vote. Da, 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 da. So I've had that one stuck in my head for a while.
I was going to say 1, 2, 3, down with Rebel Sis.
They'll be like, I'm sick and tired of the unpaved roadways in my state. Take an axe to a pumpkin. Like they just don't make. They just. I can't.
It's almost like
I just can't wait for them to be over.
It's like car commercial ads, or the one from like Cobra Kai with Daniel. It's like, I'm out chopping down prices.
Vote for Fruit Ninja.
Dude, I would vote. Dude, if Marshmallow ran for president, I'd be like, screw it, I'm voting. Dude, wait till Mr. Beast runs for president. That dude would win in like a week. That dude would not even have to spend any campaign money.
Oh, yeah.
If Jimmy ran for president when he turns 35, he is guaranteed to win. There's no way around it.
I saw something last night where I guess one of the big media companies tried to buy Mr. Beast's channel, where I think they offered him either $1 billion.
It was like a $1 billion contract,
and he turned it down, and somebody said, and this person was breaking down, if he has 200 million subscribers or however many it is, 200 million subscribers, this many views, it's actually worth. So he said, "Oh, my channel's actually worth 150 billion," and then everybody said he was nuts. But this guy broke it down like, no, that number is actually accurate.
Yeah,
Yeah. And then also add that Mr. Beast burger and all the other things that he has out there as well. One of the smartest things American Dream Mall did was they opened up the first physical Mr. Beast burger anywhere in the country.
And yeah, I saw it.
American Dream Mall has traffic now. It never did. Smart move.
Mr. Beast is saving the American dream, which has been. That place has been a disaster for almost 20 years before they finally built it.
And I feel kind of sad because I love dumping on how stupid it was. And now that it's doing well, I'm like, fuck, I lost this thing.
I didn't realize that the Mr. Beast burger actually has, because they were like defaulting on their interest payments a few months ago.
I think he saved that. He might have ownership of that mall at this point. He might have worked out a deal on there. And he has part ownership.
I just missed the Izod Center.
Same. Dude, the Izod Center is used for filmmaking. Film studios actually work there, and it's the weirdest freaking thing. Enemy Within, Emergence, The Equalizer season 1 was there. And when you go to the Izod Center, granted the trip is nice and local, you go there and then you look where the ice used to be, and there's like a dinette set and like a fake toilet, and it's the weirdest goddamn thing.
I can't. All right, the Equalizer show is so dumb. Oh God. I can't take it seriously. I remember when they first showed, promos for that before the first season, and you see Queen Latifah walking down an alley. And I'm like really, that's
apparently it's doing well in the ratings though.
Clearly, if it's still on TV. Every time I see the commercial, I'm like, pew pew, the Equalizer. Because I don't take it seriously. It's the movies were good. I'm no.
Well, it's Morgan Freeman, and I forget who the white guy was from the 80s, the original Equalizer. No, not Morgan Freeman. Denzel. I'm sorry, Denzel.
Denzel, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. Was it Tom Selleck or one of those guys?
Probably, some random 80s guy, Dirk Benedict or something.
Nick Nolte.
Never seen any of this. I have no idea what you're talking about.
But yeah, no,
we've just gone way into left field here.
I was going to say, yeah. So
anyway, MLS Cup, MLS Cup Saturday, 4:00 ABC. It's in LA. Parking or not, you can watch it on TV or at one of the watch parties in the area.
And apparently, it's about 130 to 160 different countries are going to be airing it too, which is a big deal. So
it's the world sport.
Yeah. Brandon, your Jets, go.
I just want to preface this by saying I'm not, especially that we are this many days removed from the loss to the Patriots. It kind of sucks because just going into that game, I as a Jet fan, and I know a lot of others, not all of them, but a lot of others felt more confident going into this game as opposed to in many years. In fact, all years prior to Tom Brady and Voldemort heading up to New England. And I think that the Patriots got bailed out. Not that they played well enough to win. The Jets played better, but the Patriots got bailed out. And I want to say that if John freaking Myers, that's what I'm calling him, doesn't do that really so boneheaded, ridiculous call, and it's crazy because you watched it live and he throws the pick six and every Jet fan's like, oh God, please don't be a penalty. Please don't be a penalty. And it was the worst one they could have had at that moment, considering the play itself and how the game was playing. Because if that pick six goes and you go up 2 scores like that, with their fourth quarter point differential and the way the defense, they really do hold on to that game. But yet they were in the situation that it happened. The penalty happened. So the game still went on in terms of Patriots having a chance to win. And Zach, had some really bad moments. And I knew this would happen because he was, not that he was fantastic, but he was good enough to just be the game manager. You don't make the mistakes, let the defense run game, do the work for you, what happened since he had returned up until this game. And he did some of the things that we saw last season and some of the things that we as Jet fans kind of are really discouraged to see from him, because the kid does have talent. He really does. And it's just about getting everything together. He didn't have great footwork, and we can joke about the whole kind of the Sam Darnold thing where it was the seeing ghosts against this Patriots team.
Yep.
A lot of quarterbacks see ghosts against this team. Sam Darnold just had the self-awareness to sit there on the sideline and say it. It just got picked up on the mic and got killed for it, which I, of course, defended him because Sam I am is my boy, and I still have hope for him in the future. That being said,
he can't even start in this shit show in Carolina.
He's got Ben McAdumbass as his coach now.
He went from doofus to dumbass now.
Well, now that we've gone off the rails here, it's more appropriate. He still got a chance, so I'm holding out hope for him. But it's kind of sucks because
he's behind PJ Walker and Baker Mayfield.
Okay. All right, we're talking about Zach here. And the Jets, the current Jets. It kind of sucks because had they won this game, they go to 6-2. And we said this last week, regardless of what happens, you can scratch in those 2 Buffalo games as losses. And I'm totally fine with. You just hope that they're competitive and Buffalo doesn't put up 45, 50 points. And they look like an NFL team still. If they lose, that's fine. I'm not going to be too discouraged over it. But a game like this is a game where you kind of get more discouraged after a loss because you would have had it in the bag had that mistake of the penalty not happened. And this part of the season scheduling, I think, really would have been favorable to them. Back to my point, had they won this game, gone up 6-2. You face Buffalo, that's a loss. That's fine. 6-3. Jet fans are feeling fantastic going into the bye week. It's very rare that the Jets would have 2 weeks to prepare for a Patriots team coming out of a bye. Yes, the Patriots are also on a bye, so it's 2 weeks apiece, but that's fine. There's nothing you can do about that. You feel, even if they split with the Patriots, again, they look good. The rest of the season, I mean, you feel good. They could have gotten on some kind of roll past the bye, and we'll see what happens still. But I think they really missed an opportunity to beat this Patriots team. And yeah, Jets are 5-3, which, I mean, if you said 9 weeks or 10 weeks into the season, whatever, that the Jets would be 5-3, sign me the hell up. Right? But now that we're at this point and we're seeing it play out week to week,
your expectation is different.
More and you want to really take grasp of opportunity. And that's what it was, a missed opportunity. It was a big missed opportunity, and coaching is the biggest difference. Coaching has been my biggest pet peeve with this team all year,
especially play calling.
I think that I think LaFleur is an unqualified schmuck who is going to ruin Wilson, because it's one thing for a rookie and second-year quarterback to be adjusting. It's another thing when the people coaching him are also rookies, essentially rookies in their second year, still trying to figure it out. And their only qualification for being in this position is being the head coach's bestie's younger brother.
Mm-hmm.
LaFleur is an absolute joke, does not know what he's doing with play calling, is completely incapable of halftime adjustments, which is the biggest.
That's because he's all the way up in the booth. He doesn't have time to get down there and back up to the booth. He should be on the sidelines. I don't understand that.
I mean, that's something that's a different can of worms as far as like teams with coordinators in the booth versus in the sideline or whatever. I know there's things both for and against it, but wherever he is, he doesn't know what the hell he's doing.
I don't know. I don't like the way it looks.
Yeah, and just there's no adults in the room. We have, and Saleh is, as I like to call it, all gas, no brains. Where it's just this, how about you win something and learn how to coach before you come up with the stupid slogans and selling T-shirts? Do something first. This coaching staff is clueless. It's like Rex all over again. It's just about defense, and they're absolutely clueless about offense, and have a coordinator that has no idea what the heck he's doing. But at least they won early in the Rex years, because while Brian Schottenheimer was iffy at best, at least his dad was a Hall of Fame coach, so he got some competency through genetics. LaFleur apparently did not get the same bit of that from his brother. Even though he's
Shanahan,
everybody who's ever
got an
been around the
Shanahan
family is now qualified for coaching jobs in the NFL. Like, I washed Mike Shanahan's car once. That makes me more qualified to be an NFL coach than in the eyes of some of these moron owners than people that have worked for years as coordinators, and played the game. Just NFL coaching nepotism is holding back the innovation of this league. You have schmucks like Nathaniel Hackett, who isn't even from a good family. Paul Hackett was the biggest dumbass who I've seen out of a long line of them, of idiotic Jets offensive coordinators over the years.
They're
and
hacks.
his son, who also doesn't know how to manage a clock to the point where the whole fucking stadium is counting down for him because he doesn't know what the play clock is. These people are getting jobs at coaching in the NFL. Why? And you wonder why half of these games are unwatchable. Stupid.
How many Belichick, spawns are on that coaching staff?
Yeah, and every assistant that Belichick has goes to be head coach, sucks at it, gets fired, and then goes back to the mothership.
Joe Judge.
McDaniels is probably going to join him at the end of the year, the way things are going in Vegas.
But your team is 5-3, though.
They are 5-3. Soon to go 5-5.
Which my question in this case, that's going to bring us a thing here.
Right. That was my point. That it's like they missed such an opportunity. Just when we thought. That's why I threw the flag. My flag. I can't.
That's why I know better than
you thought.
the wave of flag. I've seen this team disappoint me too many times over the years. Just I don't get I don't get excited until the end of the season. That's why I didn't buy in on the Mets until August. I have similar feelings about the Jets.
It's sold in September.
Yeah, I'm all in on the Union, and then let's see what happens. And then we'll see what the rest of the teams after that. And we got college basketball starting up soon too. Lauren
Harden's out for me. Oh, oops. We'll cut that part.
Yeah, I was gonna say you talk basketball there.
Yeah, no, I'm not. I'm taking that back.
So
taking it back.
Well, like I said, in this case, your team is 5-3, which is far better than I think you guys are expecting it to be anyway.
I mean, just
be happy about that.
He's right though. Like they really are 5-5 though, right now. We're just 3 weeks out. That's all.
Well,
they're fine.
The Jets are a better road team than home team.
I will say that after that second New England game, the Jets schedule after that is pretty easy. They have the Bears at home, which that should be a win. At Minnesota could go either way. At Buffalo, they'll get blasted. Detroit and Jacksonville at home. And then 2 tougher games at Seattle and at Miami to finish off the season. Who knows where Miami will be at the end, at that point in the season. I'm not really sure what to make of them. But the Jets, coming into this season, we wanted to see progress. Mm-hmm. I think we're seeing that.
Yeah.
But we got to see how the rest of the season goes. And I'm still not sold on Zach Wilson. I'm not giving up on him.
Look what you did with Miami.
We can't. Yeah, we can't jump the ship. We can't do this because then that just doesn't do anybody any good.
Yeah,
you can't do that.
I'm willing to give Zach one more year, but they need a real offensive coordinator that can actually be a mentor to him. And
can we get one full healthy year too? I mean, we're juggling injuries both years too now.
The Jets have not had a healthy quarterback since Ryan Fitzpatrick in 2015. Why isn't the quarterbacks healthy? Because they can't put a fucking offensive line together.
Well, and don't forget,
JD,
as bad as the offensive line was for Sam Darnold, it was not their fault that he got mono.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, the Jets would have a quarterback that is so stupidly young that he got mono. Not that the young, well, I mean, yeah, for the mono part, but like really, out with mono. I had mono in high school. I missed one basketball game.
I had mono when I was.
I get it.
26. I didn't miss a day of work though.
Sam, I'm rooting for you, buddy.
Yeah,
you'll find it someday.
I hope for his sake he does. I'm for any quarterback that comes. I feel for them. I mean, you see what talking about the Jets in the NFL does to me. Now
that I brought it up, would Sam Darnold today in this Jets offense and would he be better? Forget Zach Wilson.
If he was healthy,
yeah. I think he would have been.
That's a good question.
Remember, I said going
into
that draft.
Throw the ball out of bounds, and Zach doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one thing he'd be better about then. That's another thing. That's another thing Zach needs to learn is how to throw the ball away and stop trying to make something happen with busted plays.
He does a couple. He's just not like, it's not muscle memory. Like he'll do it once in a while and sometimes, but not, I mean, we saw this past game that was clearly not the case. But let them see how they bounce back. These next few weeks now are going to be rough, but we'll see how the rest of the season after that plays out. And look, there's still a chance that they might be able to sneak their way into a bottom wild card spot. Who knows?
They're right now in a playoff spot, top wild card. So, last year, 7 losses got in. The worst team that in the bunch there was Pittsburgh at 9-7-1. So keep that in the back of your mind that it is 9. If the team goes 4-4 or 5-4 throughout, then there we go. I got it eventually 3 times a charm. 5-4 the rest of the way. Yeah, they couldn't conceivably make a playoff spot.
It's possible, and with it's so weird with the 7 playoff spots, and the AFC is so all over the place. It is possible, but I expect nothing with this team.
Fair. So, all right. Any other final thoughts?
Let's see. I mean, 5-3, 9 wins, I think, would get you to a playoff spot.
You think 9-8 can do it?
I think they can go 9-8.
Well, I think early on we predicted 6 to 7 wins out of this team this year. So
yeah,
so we're pretty damn close to that anyway.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
I think they can do it. I think they can do it.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Exactly.
I've been pleasantly surprised so far this year, but it reminds me a lot of the 2009 team, where the success they've had is because of running game and the defense, despite the quarterback. And I think that's the best case scenario for the Jets this year. Sneak into the playoffs, maybe the quarterback gets hot, see what happens. Maybe they could go on a run. Am I expecting
the team has an injury that's important? Yeah.
Yeah. Am I expecting it? Not really, but it's possible. Cautiously optimistic, but it's still the Jets, so not that much.
So cautiously optimistic, but properly pessimistic. There you go.
Yeah.
Well, that's
okay. So, all right, gents. Anything else?
I mean, depending on how the division winners play out, they're most likely going to be playing like at Tennessee or at Baltimore or at Miami, one of those.
As of now, they beat
teams.
At Baltimore, I believe.
I don't love it, but I mean, we've seen Lamar in the playoffs not be as great.
Giants
get to the playoffs first. The Jets
of course. Yeah, of course.
Stop. We don't need to talk about who they might face. Let's win
at this point, look,
you got a full half a season to go yet.
And any way you slice it, at this point, they're in that kind of control your own destiny mode where you win and you're fine. But
and the Jets always do badly when.
No, I know. We'll see how it plays out. They're still the Jets. Until proven otherwise.
They're still the Jets until further notice.
Until further notice for more than one season, maybe.
Yeah. The Giants are decent, maybe.
Bad loss the other day, though. But
lose to our old pal Gino.
Yeah. Props to Gino. And the Seahawks have been a thorn in the Giants' side for decades. Even in the 80s. When they were terrible, they still
1986 Giants went 14-2. One of the teams they lost to, Seattle.
Yep.
It's
my dad, an old was an old school Giants fan. He hated the Seahawks because the Seahawks would always play like the Super Bowl champs whenever they play the Giants.
Yep.
yes, Geno is playing much better than Zach overall, but I think Seahawks and Jets are very similar right now, led by run game, good defense, and
It was the Dallas Cowboys with Cooper Rush too. You have a quarterback who manages and doesn't run the team. Manages the team. That's all.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you know what though? Kellen Moore at this point is a way better offensive coordinator than Matt LaFleur. So yeah, you got to throw that into it too.
Who's the Seattle offensive coordinator? I don't even know.
No.
Yeah.
So I think we're good at this point. Anything else, gentlemen?
Next week, I will resume talking about another sport that I almost got into, but
the second most popular sport in the U.S.
Yeah, with the one with that other ball that you dribble. But yeah, getting back into that next week.
Lacrosse, got it. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Australian rules football.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
And college basketball starts next week as well.
That other sport with the ball you dribble. All right. So maybe we'll talk a little XFL since we have the new league coming up February 18th.
How does our area not have a team?
Probably because the Generals are here, is my thought. Because the New York Guardians are now the Orlando Guardians.
Yeah. I like that one though. Come on.
Dude.
We always get stipped out of things. It's messed up.
My guess is also
first game covering the XFL. They gave me this really, really nice binder right here.
Nice
press pass for it too.
Ooh.
So this is the New York
It's
Guardians.
A sweet logo. I always liked the logo. I liked it.
Yeah.
I thought it was sweet.
Well, this is now the Orlando one, so I can't even. And I was never going to use this anyway. But my press pass to the first game too, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, look at you.
Thank you, Emery. But yeah, in this case here, there's no more New York Guardians. So that's kind of a collector's item in some weird way.
Also, weren't they specifically focusing on putting teams in places that didn't have NFL teams?
That's, I think, the goal. And also additional, because of the fact that the Generals are here for the USFL, they probably didn't want to conflict.
It's just, that's a stadium availability problem.
Yeah.
Are they going to both be playing spring football, both leagues?
They're not going to overlap too much because the USFL, if it starts again the same time as last time, it'll be around April. And this league starts right after Super Bowl. So there may not be too much overlap. There may be some overlap with baseball, but not with the USFL.
I just don't see how two spring leagues is going to work.
I don't know. But
you could have them at the same time, have one league play Saturdays, one league play Sundays, and then the champion, and then you play for a championship.
Like like some kind of a Super Bowl of some sort.
Yep.
But yeah, I might have to follow the Orlando team.
Dwayne Johnson, think about these things.
The AFL and the NFL, go at it.
You go in on promotions. You go at each. Something could be there. Who knows?
So, there is a market for spring football. Just it's like there's not enough talent to go around. There's only about 10 good quarterbacks and maybe 15 decent kickers.
It's AAA football. That's all it is. PJ Walker came out of the XFL. With St. Louis, which they were drawing 1 million viewers a game on TV for that.
You put Sam Darnold in there, he'll MVP undefeated championship.
PJ Walker is now the starting quarterback over Sam in Carolina.
Exactly, and Baker too. But yeah, so he came from the XFL, so there is a chance for them too, and they can at least make a salary and play on national TV. So, and you got The Rock behind you too, which is something there as well. So,
you play for the Spring Bowl.
Exactly. Yes.
PJ Walker could be the next time.
Come on, Dwayne. I'm here. Think about these things.
Stop focusing on Young Rock season 3.
Yeah, come on. Think about the important things in life, okay?
Exactly.
Jeez.
Yes.
Enough with the tequila. Enough with these unimportant things. Focus on spring football together. Coming
Rampage
together.
2. The rampaging.
Yeah, great.
Yes.
Or he'll reboot an Expendables series with new guys. I don't know.
God, there's an Expendables 4 coming out too. Arnold's
Really?
not even in
There
that
is.
one. Yeah, I don't know who's in it, but
he would have to be at this point.
Well,
I don't think you could have a current 2022 Expendable style movie with all these action hero and like big and not have The Rock at this point.
Well, he's done with Fast and the Furious. He said he's never going back to it. So
there you
go. Which has going on its 11th or 10th movie, depending how you look at it. To the moon. So, all right, gents. Thanks as always. We will be back Monday. We're going to be back Monday night probably too. So we'll talk proper at that point. Unfortunately, we'll have to be a little clearer with our language at that point. But we'll delve into whatever ends up happening with the MLS at that point. So, thank you as always, Brandon. Thank you as always, JD. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
And time to watch a little baseball.